Now you have big bidders at 0.019 and 0.091. It's going to try to attack the weekly high of 0.0197. Someone was just waiting for that. Literally, they've been watching it. It's been basing near its highs, and someone just stepped up to the plate with a 1.4 million buys. Not a huge fan that it's kind of heading into midday, but again, the stock has spiked big on a Friday before. The stock has spiked big for several days before too. So I think it's worth a shot. Getting some at 0.017. 0.0177. Am I getting it? 0.0175 is my average. TTCM 0.0175. How many shares did I get? Uh, 500,000 shares. So I'd use E-Trade because the commissions are like $5. Let's see, rebuying this one, that's 2-day highs right now. Rebuying this recent runner that held its gains well and is now spiking. Is high. Goal is to sell in the low 2s as that was resistance earlier this week. And at 0.0175. Again, this is lower price than I normally like, but this did run last Friday. Recent runners can run again. I underestimated it the second day too. I like that when I, sell a stock, for 50% gain last Friday, but I also underestimated it. And that leads me to believe that I'm on the right track and, maybe I should be a little more aggressive. The resistance from, I guess today is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. The high was 0.0197. So here we're coming up on it. I don't think that it's going to break out here because we're midday. Really bad time to buy a trade. But I also just didn't want to mess it, and this goes back to me thinking that I underestimated it last time, so I want to be a little more aggressive. Again, I have a small position I can get in and out. This is pretty liquid stock. But I see the opportunity. I've been watching it, and now it's a question, can it break out? I would love for this, to break the previous highs here at 0.0197, because a lot of people just buy, technical breakouts. So this will pop up on other people's radar if it breaks 0.0197, and then, you kind of have like this magnet at like key levels like 0.02. So I would love to see it break 0.0197. We'll see how many, if it can do it first of all, and we'll see if it can, surge through 0.02. Might need to hold this a little while, might need a press release. I don't know. I'm going to try to give this some time because I like the hype, I like the chart, I like how it can spike pretty big. I'm not in this, I'm up 1/10 of a penny right now. I don't really care whether I'm up 1/10 of a penny or down 1/10 of a penny. The whole question is, can it break big? OTLK is also breaking out, but only like 20 cents a share. INSG still doing nothing. CNAB also still holding near its highs. I like to look at, other plays too, just trying to judge. And then I'm trying to find kind of like the anomaly. And TTCM was a little stronger than most with its big volume and potential retesting of the previous highs. Still got a long way to go. I like that, when it, when it fails to break out, but then holds near its highs, ideally. I don't like it when I, buy a stock and it immediately is, just spiking like into the close or whatever. So the one good thing about buying at midday is that I can give it time. I can kind of see what it can do. And then it's just a waiting game. But it's already traded 30 million shares roughly in the first hour of trading, which is, not a lot of dollar volume, but pretty good start. So now the question is, can the volume keep up? I already see that everyone's tweeting about it. The Investors Hub message board is full of hype. It's, right at its multi-day highs. So everything is kind of trending in the right direction. The bad thing would be is if it could not break out and if you get kind of like a hard crack off those highs. Like if it goes to 0.0197, can't break out, and then it comes down to like 0.016 and it loses like 10 or 15%, I'd be out then. But as long as it's holding around near its highs, at some point today or possibly tomorrow, I think that it's going to, break those highs. And when it breaks those highs, that's going to be a good time to sell into. And then it might keep going again. I might underestimate it again, but I don't mind underestimating it. But this is why I don't like buying stocks right at their highs like a lot of people do. Because what if it fails at 0.0197? I don't know if it's going to break out. It very well could fail. And it doesn't even look like it's going to get to 0.0197 right now. So I like buying, when it broke the day high, but not like the 5-day high. It gives me a little bit of a cushion. It's failing at 0.019-ish now, so this very well could be a top. I might have been a little too over-aggressive. We'll see. OTLK, hard crack off that nice price action. I wouldn't be long. So I'm still watching, even though I'm not in OTLK. I'm still watching. I wasn't a big fan of the catalyst that spiked OTLK, which is an analyst report. And this is what I mean by a hard crack. The morning high right here was basically 275-ish. It got up to the 280s. So technically you have a breakout. But then look at this. The breakout was only 10 cents, and then you have a 30-cent dip. So I look for the speed at which it breaks out or the speed at which it fails. But this is what I'm saying, where trading can get boring. I'm in the position, I'm watching it, I have an expectation of what it can do, but there's nothing to be done. Right now I'm up, like I said, a tenth of a penny, but I'm not in this to make a tenth of a penny. So plus or minus a tenth of a penny, I'm fine with it. The whole question is, can it break to 0.0197? And then if it breaks that, how convincing can it break it? But right now it's holding not necessarily right at its highs, but close enough near its highs. You want to be in a stock, even if it is going to be slow moving, you want it to kind of like be within shooting distance, because I guarantee you there's some other people watching this that don't have a position, and they're probably just like, oh, Sykes is pumping it, and so they're watching it, but they don't really believe that it can do it on its own. And then if it does start to show signs that it can do it on its own, then they're like, oh, fuck, he's right. And then they buy, and then it breaks out, and then that's the time to sell. So I don't know if it's going to break out. I can't predict the future. But I've seen enough of these plays where it's just like kind of a waiting game. And the thing that got me in, I was already watching it, but the thing that got me to actually buy, and now I have to watch it, that got me not just my money at risk, but also my time, was the fact that it broke the morning high. And the fact that also tomorrow is a Friday. So you have to remember that it ran big last Friday. So the thinking is maybe it runs big this Friday. Maybe they'll have a press release like they did last Friday. If I have to, I'll hold it overnight tonight. But it needs to show me that it can hold near its highs or break its highs. And then again, if it breaks its highs fast enough, I'll just sell and take profits, because this is also midday, no matter how high it goes. So I'm being a little more aggressive buying late morning, not my ideal time, but I have a small dollar amount at risk. Trades millions of shares every few minutes, so I can get out if need be. And so far, it's holding near its highs better than OTLK did, even though OTLK is the bigger percent winner with a catalyst. This does not have a specific news catalyst today. It just has price action. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But that's how I'm thinking about this. A lot of people are thinking like, oh, is it a good company, is it a bad company? For me, purely, it's probably a bad company, but it's purely about, can it break the day highs? Can it break the weekly highs? And when that happens, are there enough people watching it where I can then sell into those latecomers who are buying the breakout, not realizing that there were other people prepared for the breakout ahead of time. Now there's a million share seller at 0.019. I'm also watching the level too. It's not just the chart. So that million share seller is creating some sellers here at 0.0188. So now 0.0197 was the resistance from earlier this week, but it's putting up a little bit of a fight at 0.019. It's not exactly a great sign, but it could be a great sign if it starts to take out that million share seller at 0.019. So there's good and bad of everything, but right now, solid blockade of sellers. So I'm trying to give it as much time as possible, but there's resistance now at 0.019. Now resistance at 0.0185. I'm in at 0.0175, so again, I'm still up, depending on the bid or the ask, half a penny or half a tenth of a penny. Again, this is why I don't like low price stocks, because it's ridiculous that I'm like, we're kind of splitting a penny into a penny into a penny. But again, it's still within shooting distance of its highs. And that is all that matters to me. It's up 20% on the day. I kind of bought it on a red to green move. So the fact that it's still holding up 20% midday in a down market, that tells me it's good. But there's a lot of resistance just above. So you can make a good case, you can make a bad case. That's what this setup is right now. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if it could break these sellers at 0.0185. Oh, there's a 500,000 share bidder at 0.0182. So it's holding within a tenth of a penny within its highs. Yo, what up, man?
I made it.
How's it going?
It was
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, good to see you too, Tim.
How you been?
Pretty good. Yeah, I got in late last night.
We got in like at 2 a.m. I'm hurting. They have good coffee here, though.
Yeah, I didn't get into bed till like 4.
Yes.
And then I just completely overslept. but
It happens. So now we're watching TTCM. It's actually looks like it's breaking out. So now look at it, 0.0184, and it's taking out the 0.0185s like I just said like a few seconds ago. I'd feel comfortable, more comfortable, if it can break 0.0185 and it's testing. It's testing those highs. But you still have the million share seller at 0.019, which is a problem. But I like that it tested. You see how it kind of like coiled? Now you have big bidders at 0.0185. And now it looks like it's going to test that million share seller at 0.019. Again, midday, so it's going to be tough to do much right now. But this stock, I've underestimated it in the past, and I want to be more aggressive on stocks that I underestimate in the past. So that's how I'm judging this. Did you trade TTCM at all?
I did not. I have 0 positions right now.
Hey, that's rare.
Yeah. I'm a little less
Active?
desperate.
Good.
Desperation is unfair.
Fantastic. How you doing? Oh, look at this. Now we have a million share bidder at 0.0185. Very nice. So you see now it's consolidated well. Now we're going to have a battle of the million share bids. So there's a million shares trying to buy it at 0.0188 and a million shares to sell it at 0.019. We've watched as 0.019 has kind of been a wall of sellers. So the question is, can we take out that wall? If you think of these battles kind of like Lord of the Rings, what was that battle? The Helm's Deep?
Yeah, Helm's Deep.
Helm's Deep, where they sent in that guy to explode the wall, the big orc, and he commits suicide, but he blows up. That's what this is. This is the battle. So the orcs are knocking on the wall, and we're the fucking orcs. I like it. But it's a battle right now. And we need that 0.019 to get taken out. Then 0.019 gets taken out. Then the day high is 0.0193. It doesn't look like it's going to take out the wall. Again, it's midday, so it's not a total surprise. The million share bidder backed off. Lots of volume though. Right on the ask. Someone is selling big at 0.0188.
I did. Thank you.
Can it take it out? I don't know. I just said to the chat room, I said, don't expect miracles midday, but I underestimated it last time. So, again, when you look at your recent trades, or even if you missed a trade, when you underestimated what a stock was capable of a few hours ago or a few days ago, that's your sign that you should be more aggressive the next day or the next opportunity. That's how I look at it. But now it looks like it's failing at 0.019 again. Because there was a million share bidder, but then he backed off.
What do you English mean back off?
Back off? Like
he already bid, he cannot take it out.
He just
What do you mean
canceled
back
his
off?
order. Like he put in him to buy a million shares, and then he was like, no, let me cancel. So he backed away.
So you can see from level 2, he canceled the order?
Yeah, or he was faking it in the first place. I don't know if he actually even meant to actually want to buy a million shares. He might have just said, oh, I'm going to buy a million shares just to scare the sellers. That's called spoofing. Technically, it's illegal, but people do it with penny stocks, and they show big orders on the ask, they show big orders on the bid, just to try to scare people either way.
But I guess my question is, level 2 I saw bid and ask,
Yeah.
but I don't see is actually executed order?
No, it's not executed, but that's why
How
I'm
do you
looking,
know it's not
because I'm
executed?
watching every single tick. That's why I'm watching specifically. I saw the million share bidder, then he backed away, he disappeared. He could still be there. There's also brokers where you can hide your size. So maybe he wants to buy 1 million shares, but he doesn't want to pay too much, so he doesn't want to show his full size. There's so many games played with level 2. You can show size, you can fake size. But for me, I wanted to see it, now there's 300,000 shares on the bid. So is it the same guy? Now is he going to try to attack 0.019? Maybe he just wanted to accumulate more size before. He's probably going to buy it to break through 0.019. I don't know. Now there's 1.4 million shares trying to be sold at 0.019. The good news, even though this is a low price play and I really don't like it, the good news is it's very liquid. So you can see these big orders kind of going back and forth in these games being played. I like this, that it's a game being played near its highs. Because if it breaks 0.019 or 0.0193, that opens the door to the weekly high of 0.0197 and then into the twos, into the promised land where I sell.
Yeah, I'm watching the level 2 as well. I saw you talk about 300,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I cannot see is actually be executed.
No, it's not
backed
executed.
off.
That's what I'm saying. He backed off. So if it doesn't get executed and it's just not there anymore, like they either canceled the order, they were faking the order, there could be hiding the order. There's so many different options. But you shouldn't get too wrapped up in any one order because, again, you don't know if it's a real order, if it's faked or what. But you're looking for a trend, okay? And this is why I'm watching every single tick with this play because it tested 0.019 last time, then it failed, came down to the 0.017s. Now it's testing 0.019 again, and it's kind of not winning yet. But also it's midday, so I don't have expectations like if this was the end of the day, like let's say it was 3:50 p.m. Eastern, and I had to decide should I hold this overnight or not, I'd probably be selling because it's not breaking to the highs like I want. But it's 11:15 a.m. Eastern, so you have to have the proper expectations. Like big breakouts don't usually happen at 11:15 a.m., but they sometimes do. So for me, I wanted to be in this play in case the breakout did happen. And that goes back to me underestimating it on my weekend trade and now being a little more aggressive this time.
I see.
At 0.019, 0.02's now likely on deck. So this is the beautiful thing. So we've been waiting for it, and I'm sure somebody else was watching this. And the fact that they just bought this. Now look at the bid. Now you have big bidders. Now you have big bidders at 0.019 and 0.091. It's going to try to attack the weekly high of 0.0197. But someone was just waiting for that. Literally, they've been watching it. It's been basing near its highs, and someone just stepped up to the plate with a 1.4 million buy sounds like a lot, but it's trading at fucking 2 cents. And we're still not breaking out. So now it's, the day high, it just made a new day high at 0.0194, but still a lot to do. This is classic midday trading. But I'm happy with it. It's testing new highs. It's making new highs. There's big buy orders. I can still get out at any time that I want if I really wanted to, if I need to.
Are you planning on taking profits when it hits 20, or are you going to wait until after it breaks out and see if it pushes?
So this is what we were talking about before you came. Like I would love to see. First of all, it's not even getting to 0.0195, so it looks like that this is a failed breakout attempt. But I would love to see it touch 0.0197 and then see how it acts right there. But it doesn't even look like it's getting there. It looks like somebody wanted to do that. See, now it just failed at 0.019. So we had the breakout, we had like the potential, but now it comes back down. So maybe that guy who bought the 1.4 million shares was trying to trigger a breakout, but again, this is classic midday. This is why I don't really like trading midday, because it's choppy. But now it's back hanging right near its highs. The longer it holds near its highs, the more shots it has at really breaking out. I would love to sell in the low twos. That's been my thesis ever since I bought it. I'm in the 0.017s. If I make a third of a penny, that's like $1,500, $2,000 profit. That would be fantastic.
How many? I guess
I have 500,000 shares. So a little less than $10,000. And if I can make, 15, 20% on a speculative midday trade, I'll take it.
Yeah, you already more than the 750 profit already.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
again, but I never go into a trade to like, ooh, I'm going to make a tenth of a penny. Like can it be something meaningful? And I think this has the potential setup, but midday is just fucking annoying.
But actually, I found recently midday peak poke is pretty common.
Yeah, I mean, it's becoming more and more
Yeah.
common.
Recently, you saw midday poke.
But the overall market dipping doesn't help. I'm reducing some here at 0.0192 just in case. It doesn't hurt to take some off the table. I don't need to be in this trade. Now we got the sellers.
Did they have news on this initial run-up a few days ago?
Yeah, last
Yes.
Friday they announced their augmented reality platform. So it was the commercial release.
Thought they did.
And now, if you look at, there's 100,000 posts on Investors Hub. They're just going crazy about this, like saying it's the next Facebook. And Twitter's going crazy. But there's also 2.6 billion shares outstanding. So they said they also reduced their outstanding shares. They claim to, but you never know if companies are telling the truth or not.
Is it reduce? Kind of silly question.
Yeah.
Is it reduce the share? All the standing share is good news? or
Yeah,
bad
because
news?
there's less supply. So theoretically,
Oh,
if there's
I see.
demand,
That
then
makes
each
sense.
share should be worth. But I've seen pumps always say they reduce their debt, they reduce their shares outstanding, and they're just hiding them in some offshore account. Like, I don't believe that. But the fact that they're putting out that press release tells me at least they are trying to get their stock up. But now the overall market is dipping. I don't know what happened. Midday and the market's dipping. I do like that this is holding near its highs. I don't like that it just broke 0.019 and then came back down. There was like a slight glimmer of hope, kind of like at the end of the perfect storm, and then the storm clouds come in. Did you see the perfect storm? George Clooney, remember? They're fighting and they see like sunshine for a second, and then it disappears and they die. But it's not a hard crack. OTLK did the hard crack off the high. That's the difference. This one did not break out, but it also was not a hard crack off of its highs. And in fact, it's holding near its highs. So,
Actually, OTLK still hold the base.
yeah, but it's,
Look at the previous base.
OTLK, but it dipped literally. The breakout was 290-ish and it dipped to 250-ish. That's a hard crack. TTCM is holding right near its highs. And it looks like it's going to break out. Come on, let's do this.
Sorry, Tim, I just want to, for my
Yeah.
own education.
Yeah.
Because I found the OTLK hold the base. See here, it's all the base is 2.5.
Yeah.
So this one did not break.
It's holding that base, but it's 40 cents a share off its highs. I
Oh, yeah,
want
yeah.
stocks to be within shooting distance of their highs. 40 cents on a $2.50 stock is not close. This one, TTCM, is knocking on the freaking highs right now. Beautiful action. I mean, this is fantastic. Beautiful action, new day highs. Come on, 0.02s. Look at this. All the trades are on the ask. So I've been waiting for this. It feels like I've been in this trade for an eternity, even though it's been like 45 minutes or 35 minutes. I don't know. But I gave it time. It tested 0.019, came back down to the 0.0197s, then consolidated the 0.019 in the 0.018s, and now it's literally hanging right at the intraday high and the weekly high. And the whole question is, can it break that high? or not?
Previous high.
The previous high.
0.0197.
0.0197. And then as you get closer to like these big numbers like 0.02, they tend to be magnets. And it's like, then how will it act at 0.02? But first it has to get there. Here's the daily chart, just a little reminder. It's coming right up. You also have to keep everything in perspective. So it's kind of failing here in the 0.019s. There's no news, it's midday, and the overall market is dipping. So we have some kind of like headwinds against us. Now it looks like it's failing to break out more. It's also up 25% on the day, which is a big move for a stock with no news.
You guys speak so many slang. What do you mean headwind mean? in
Headwinds.
here? Sorry about that.
It's like, is that even the right sailing term, headwinds? I don't know. Where it's like, there's like resistance, When I bought last Friday, every indicator was fantastic. They had news. It was already a % gainer. It was spiking into the close.
Big
It was a
volume.
first green day, big volume. Every indicator was perfect except that it was low priced. Now, okay, it's testing, multi-day highs. It's broken intraday highs, but it does not have news, and the overall market is not there, and we're midday. So there's some positives, but there's also some negatives. And
I
that
see.
makes me a little more conservative. I'm trying to give it time just because it's holding near its highs.
There's a testing 0.194 multiple times.
It did.
Testing multiple times. But you still did not explain the headwind, the slang of the headwind.
So,
The headwind mean.
the headwinds, I could be wrong because I'm not a sailor, but, like if you have calm seas, like it's easier to be, to go faster with your sailboat. Let's say you have some wind and then like the winds are in your favor. This one, the winds are not in our favor. The overall market continues to downtrend. We're still midday on this. Even if it does, break 0.0194, it still has that resistance at 0.0197 and then another resistance at 0.02. I can't even imagine how many sellers there are going to be at 0.02. So I got to watch and see how it acts at that key level.
Oh, I get. So
It's not a-
headwind mean is an obstacle.
Correct.
Obstacle
Resistance.
for you to achieve
To go forward.
all you want.
Yeah, so if you're on a sailboat and the winds are blowing against you, it's going to be tough to like go faster.
I get. Thank
Um,
you. Yeah, such a good teacher.
Thank you. I try to make analogies, but that's basically where we are. This is our sailboat. I want it to go fast. I want it to go far,
Makes sense.
but there's a mutiny aboard, and the fuckers are trying to hold us back.
Hope you guys don't mind that someone speak English as second language. I have
No, it's
so
good.
many questions.
It's good. Trust me, it's your English as a second language is akin to a lot of the people watching this when we record this video. English is a first language, but their intelligence is a second language, so it's very similar.
Thank you.
But it's holding right at its highs. Like, this is the beautiful thing. So
Yeah,
some people say, like, I'm very
multiple-
impatient sometimes, and I am. But I'm willing to be patient on this just because it's holding near its highs.
Yeah, testing multiple times.
It's testing, but again, it's testing doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to break out. OTLK was doing well, but that it had a hard crack. I don't want to be here for this if it does have a hard crack. I'm up, 15, I don't even know what to say, 15 tenths of a penny. Like it's a fucking...
But you almost get the $1,000.
Trust me, it's still a profit, but it's
Almost
just
$1,000.
these, when you slice up pennies and you go slicer and smaller, like it's just annoying. So I'm trying to give it time, but this is part of the reason why I don't like trading midday, because it's just slow and choppy and frustrating. I was really excited when it broke above 0.019, but now I just don't know. It's fading a little bit. I'm going to try to get out here at 0.019. Gave it a chance. Order status. It's a nice uptrend. The market as a whole keeps dipping. There's no press release and there's no clear breakout. That's 3 negatives, even though it's holding near its highs so far. It's not enough for me, though. I think that was it. Yeah, I'm out at 0.019. So I made 15 tenths of a penny. Gave it nearly an hour. That's as much time as I can give it. The market is fading.
So
See,
you almost make
one sec.
750.
Yeah, I'll look at the profit in a sec. Got a little push, but classic midday fake out. Overall market fading too. This can't. So I was excited about it, but it's just not, it's kind of losing steam as the overall market fades and the failure to break out. It didn't even touch 0.0197. It got up to 0.0194. There looked like a lot of upside, with that 1.4 million buyer, but after the 1.4 million buyer came and went, it just did nothing. And I don't want to be around for OTLK type footage. Action. Like here's OTLK. Look at this chart. So OTLK had a breakout. It actually broke the morning highs, but it just wasn't a very convincing breakout. And when you don't get the convincing breakout, eventually that leads to, shorts coming in. I don't think shorts are going to come in on TTCM since it's only trading at a penny, but I don't want to be there for any potential hard crack off the highs when it's a speculative trade like that. Like here's the chart on TTCM. It did break the highs, but just not in a convincing way. I gave it time. I came out with a profit. And now it's fading as more people start to say, wait a minute, this isn't breaking to new highs. Screw this.
TEDUs testing high day.
Are you buying these days?
I've been going long probably about 50% of the
What? Look at you, a changed man.
time. Well, there's a lot of potential.
Yes, you see the risk reward is flipped, right?
And my biggest losses have been on the short side. So, but I'm proud to say that I have.
How much are you up or down these days?
Right now I think I'm up like 25,000.
Nice.
But I took a huge loss last year shorting,
Yeah.
and then I've been building it back.
Yeah.
So I've been growing it, and I haven't taken like a substantial loss since that big one was
Good.
painful. So I
And
haven't.
then you learn you don't want that anymore.
If you look at my profit lead chart, you'll see it like now it's more of a gradual, slow, steady growth. I reduced my position sizes a whole lot, and it's been very slow and gradual as opposed to before. Whenever I started,
Choppy.
when I started to make some money, it got real choppy. I got to where I was making like, some days I'd make like, 2,000, 3,000 in a day or 1,000 in a day, but then I'd turn around and lose, you know, that,
It's frustrating.
yeah. So I just,
Look at his profit chart.
yeah, see now it's kind of,
I want to come to handle. Give me the breakout, man.
Yeah, the breakout's coming. It's coming. I'm just,
But it's more gradual. Look at the difference.
Very beautiful.
No, but look at the difference between the profit and loss. Like, I mean, this is a choppy stock. I wouldn't trade it when it's here. But now you got a nice gradual uptrend. And no, but seriously, this is it. You know, like you're tightening your belly or your, you know, your trading process. You're tightening, you're refining, because you don't want that big loss. How big was your loss?
oh gosh, it was well over $10,000. It was huge. It was
11,562.
there it is. Yeah, it was massive. It was painful.
But that's the risk with shorting, and you learn from it.
Yeah, I did learn from it. Rule number one, you got to respect the risk. That's what, you know, I mean, you say it all the time, cut your losses quickly.
Yeah.
You use cut your losses quickly. I kind of adopted the mindset of like, just respect your risk. You have to respect,
Cool.
you have to go under a trade with a risk.
That's
you know?
fine. For
And
me, if I use that, most people would not do it because they don't
respect the risk.
Well, they don't understand how to plan risk. So if you just cut your losses quickly, you're basically respecting your risk just in a safer way.
Exactly.
I would rather people learn to lose a lot small. And then, you know, if it takes a big loss like that to really, you know, reinforce it. I mean, I posted this on Instagram the other day. My $500,000 loss snapped me into like respecting stuff so much more. You know, there's nothing like a big loss that will educate you. Hey, Tim Sykes, Millionaire Mentor and Trader. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope that they help you. I want to share everything that I've learned over the years. You can check out more videos right over there. And also click subscribe so that you can watch all of these videos, get that knowledge, and become my next millionaire student.